Welcome to Rategenie. Rategenie allows you to quickly generate and easily manage rates for all rentals in your inventory across all of your connected channels. Here are a few key areas to check when setting up Rategenie. The first thing you'll want to do is create strategies to apply to your rental inventory. You can create as many strategies as you feel necessary. Strategies are created on the Strategies page. Rules can be added to a rate strategy in order to customize the way that rates are generated for assigned rentals. Multiple rentals can be assigned to the same strategy. Strategies are used by rentals to generate rates. Based on the overall strategy itself and the individual rules that are assigned, nightly rates will be adjusted up or down depending on the calendar date. Now that you've created your rate strategy, it's important to designate one of them as the default strategy. Setting one of the strategies as default will allow the strategy to apply to any rental that does not currently have an assigned strategy. On the Strategies page, click the Edit button at the far right next to the strategy that you want to set as default. Then select Default. This symbol here signifies that a default strategy has been set. This can also be set on the Strategies overlay. On the upper right, there will be a default toggle switch. The default strategy applies to any rental that does not have an assigned strategy. This is very useful if the majority of you have a large number of rentals with very similar rates. If they all use the same rules and strategies, then creating a default strategy means that a specific strategy does not need to be assigned to them. Rental rates can still be set for rentals using the default strategy in order to customize rates for rentals in different pricing tiers. With your strategies created and your default strategy set, it's time to fine-tune the rates for your rentals. Setting rental rate settings will allow you to use different rentals with different price points with the same strategy. To edit your rental rate settings, click on the rental name on the Rates page to open the Rates overlay. On the Rates overlay, navigate to the far right and click on the Settings tab and complete the different fields. Rental rate settings can also be updated directly from the Rentals page. Navigate to the far left and click Rentals. In the table, click on the rate settings in any row to update the rental rate settings for the rental. After making the necessary changes, click the Save button to update the rental rate settings. This will result in new rates being generated for the rental. Please keep in mind to allow a few minutes for the rates to be updated and the new rates to be reflected on the calendar. Rental rate settings lets you fine-tune nightly rates for rentals that are in different pricing tiers. The rental rate settings will override any matching fields in the strategy. Before reviewing your calendar rates, it's important to review your inventory to make sure that the location for each rental is able to retrieve market data. This is very important if you want to use either the historical demand or Genie strategies with your rentals. On the Rates page, there will be a red alert icon next to the name of any rental that is missing the market data. If the red icon appears next to any rental, you will have a couple of options for correction. You can change the rental location to another location with similar market dynamics to the specified rental, or you can choose to assign a different strategy to the rental that is not a historical demand or Genie strategy. Market data is used by both historical demand and Genie strategies in order to generate the nightly rates using the pricing dynamics of the rental's local market. If this data is not available to the rental's location, then Rategenie is unable to generate rates for strategies that use market data. Next, you want to review your rates in your Rategenie calendar. This is surprisingly simple, but very important. Before reviewing your channel connections, it's important to review the rates that are in your Rategenie calendar in order to ensure that the final rates are to your satisfaction. From your Rates page, use the multi-calendar view to review all your rentals at different times of the year. It's important to review rates both near-term and long-term. Rates are generated for the next 2 years, so you want to review the rates across the full range of dates. For a more detailed view of rates for a specific rental, click on the rental name to open up the Rates overlay. On the Rates Calendar tab of the Rates overlay, you will be able to see any channel adjustments that have been specified in the assigned rate strategy. If specific dates need to be modified, this can be done using manual rates. If necessary, rental rate settings can be modified to change the generated rates. If multiple rentals need changes to the rates, then updating the details and rules in the assigned strategy might be your best option. We have provided you with multiple avenues for customizing your rate settings so that you can have the perfect price every day. The best practice when modifying rates is to start at the rental level and make strategy level changes only when necessary. Following this approach, you can quickly fine-tune the nightly rates for a single rental without affecting the rates for any other rental in your inventory. This is ideal if you only need to change the rates for one of your rentals. If the changes made at the rental level are not producing the kind of pricing that you want, but the rest of your inventory are showing perfect prices, then you might want to consider creating a new strategy for the specific rental you're interested in. This will allow you to tailor all of the rules in the strategy to that specific rental, thus ensuring rates that are perfectly fine-tuned to your rental's needs. In the event multiple rentals require rate adjustments, and they share the same rate strategy, then you can edit the rules and details in the shared strategy in order to change the movement of the nightly rates. Now that you're confident that your rental rates in your calendar are correct, and all of your strategies are properly configured, it's time to review your channel. From this page, navigate to the far left and click Listings. When Rategenie pushes rates to your channel listings, it is important to confirm that the destination for the push rates are correct. For any listings not properly mapped to the rate pushes, we'll have a rate mapping created during this step. On your channel listings page, you will see all of your channel listings and their mapped channel rate categories. The rate category column will show the channel rate category currently mapped to the rental. For some channels like Airbnb, Rategenie will automatically map the channel rate category, and the listings page will show the auto map status. If there is no channel rate currently mapped to the listing, then the column will note that there is no manual mapping. Rate mappings are only necessary if you want Rategenie to push rates to different channel rate categories than currently selected, or if there is no mapped channel rate category. Rate mappings tell Rategenie where to push rates from your rental rates calendar. Some channels, like Airbnb, only have one channel rate category on listings, which allows Rategenie to auto-map rate pushes to Airbnb listings. This means that for Airbnb, nothing further needs to be done to the listing in order for Rategenie to push rates to the channel calendar. Some channels have more than one rate category. For example, a Booking.com listing might have a standard rate category and also a non-refundable rate category. A rate mapping tells Rategenie which of the two rate categories you wish to have your rates pushed to. Now that you have reviewed your rates, rentals, and listings, it's time to turn on synchronization so that Rategenie can start pushing rates out. By default, all sync buttons will be turned off in a new account. Only after enabling the sync at different levels will Rategenie start pushing rates out of your channel calendars. On your listings page, you'll notice the sync column here. In the sync column, click on each toggle switch to turn on synchronization for any channel listings that you want to sync with Rategenie. Toggle the Channel Manager Sync switch on if you want your channel manager to use your Rategenie rates in your Channel Manager Rates calendar and on websites. This will allow any manual bookings to use your Rategenie rates. Next, let's turn on synchronization at the rental level. From here, navigate to the far left and click on Rentals. In the Sync column, click on each toggle to turn synchronization on for any rental that you want to sync with Rategenie. This will allow the rental to push rates to any linked listings that also have synchronization turned on. Finally, it's time to turn the account level synchronization on. This involves turning on the master switch. From here, navigate to Rates. In the far right, click the Sync button to turn the rate synchronization for the entire account. This will allow Rategenie to start pushing rates to your linked channel listings. The synchronization buttons allow you to find control over which rates you update. You can turn the sync on and off at the account level, at the rental level, or down at the listing level, where you can control rate sync with individual channel listings. Turning sync on is a critical step in the setup process, as you want to ensure all of your rates meet your expectations before pushing rates out from Rategenie. Finally, you want to review your rates in your channel calendars. This is the final step in your account setup. It is important to review the rates that are in your channel calendars in order to ensure that the rates displayed in the channel calendar are to your satisfaction. You can do this by signing into your channel account, navigate to the calendar for each listing, and compare the rates in the calendar to the rates in your Rategenie calendar. The numbers should be identical. Keep in mind that for new accounts, please allow up to a few minutes for the rates to be updated and the new rates to be reflected on the channel calendar. Rates in your channel calendar should exactly match the rates in your Rategenie calendar. This step ensures that all the rate pushes were successful and that your channel listing now features the updated rates generated by Rategenie. And that's it. Getting set up with Rategenie will allow you to make the most out of managing all your rental rates. Thank you again for choosing Rategenie.